have anything to do with Sunday morning in a church building. It's not church, it's Christians. It's all kind of different people wherever you are. It was me.
It's everybody.
That was me. I was that person that was, convinced this is the right way. This is what we've been taught. It's the right way. Also what the Bible says is that Jesus was rejected by his own people. I mean, who rejected him? Religion. The institution of that day, the thinking of that day rejected Jesus. It was crazy. His others-minded, the way that he loved people, the way that what I was saying about him getting on people's level, talking to people. I mean, he was inappropriate. It was very inappropriate to talk to women and to actually really view women as equal the way that Jesus did. And that's the thing about the Bible is we don't even understand the lens that we see things through, and the way that we see Jesus was radical. He was extremely radical for his day. And he still, but at the same time is getting down on people's level and talk to them. And, I also heard today that they asked Jesus over 300 questions you can see in the Bible, in the New Testament. And he definitively answered 3 of them. What does that even say? They were trying to pin him down. They were trying to nail him down. He would answer questions with questions, right? And, even with the prodigal son story that you just gave, sometimes we're the father, the prodigal son, sometimes we're the brother, and sometimes we'll even be the father. Is that true? I mean, I think we love labels. We love to pin stuff down. I remember one time I was talking to somebody, and just in casual mentioning, I said, we're always changing what we think and believe. And they were like they looked at me like, what? No, we don't change. We don't change. We think the same truth, the same church, the same way. We pass that down and down and down. And I was like, I mean, I know I can see the way you're looking at me to even say that I'm going to continue to change. Because what is the truth? What is truth? Well, right now, me and you sitting here, the truth that we have is just the truth that we think right now. I mean, how can we say that we're never going to develop past this right here? Well, that would be no growth at all. Yeah,
that'd be a horrible life to live.
That would be terrible. And that's my problem with whatever you want to call institution, organized religion, churches, denominations, whatever you want to call all of that box that nobody's allowed to get outside of. And yes, lots of times people will come to their church leadership and say, can I do this? Can I talk about this? Can I teach people about this? Or can I have this ministry or whatever? And over and over and over, the answer is no, no, no. And even if you get too far out of that box as a home church pastor, they will shut that down. I've seen that shut down before. Isn't that crazy? And that just comes back down to control and certainty, right? We all want a certainty. We all want that. I want to know that I am right. Like you said, value. I want certainty that I'm valuable and what I think is valuable. And the bottom line is out here in the, whatever you call it, it's a little bit scary. It's a little bit, especially those that have been taught you're outside of your covering, you're away from people. But guess what else is out here? Freedom, Yeah,
but think about, like your life personally, you were rejected from the church because you did something wrong, and so you got punished. But like in our life together, you've been able to do a lot more things than the church would allow you to do, right? Even ministry, finance and ministry and stuff like that.
Yeah, it turns out God's more lenient than the church authority. Turns out God's more for all the ministry. Every way that you want to love people, turns out God is for all that.
Right, and that's what I'm trying to say is we've been so dependent and then get depressed because there's no results happening, and then here we're living outside of it. Now, we lived in the church and had these experiences, and now outside of it, it's mind-blowing what's happening. It's funny, the other day that somebody told me, they said, we've paid off $15,000 in credit card debt. All of our vehicles are paid off. We just refinanced our house, for a lower interest rate. And I said, hold on, that cannot be true. And They're like, no, it just happened. And I was like, no, because you haven't been to the church and tithe in 2 years. And my point is what did we always realize? Like, if you don't tithe,
well, that's what we've been taught.
Your car's going to break down. You're going to be sick. God's going to punish you.
Well, God won't take care of your money. If you don't give God his money, he won't take care of your money, and your finances will go down the drain.
Right. And then here's this experience of this family for 2 years haven't been doing it. Now, they've been givers, but it just hasn't been to what you call the institutional church.
Well, again, because what we read in the way that all of those scriptures were interpreted and and taught back into the church, the institution, was through this American mindset. This is what tithing looks like. This is what giving looks like. But I think the way that God sees giving is probably pretty different. Probably the way God sees all money and that whole thing is probably very different than the way that things have been taught. Things have been. Somebody asked a question about marriage and sex and things like that. In the Bible, women were property, and nobody married for love. People married that were arranged marriages. That's the way things were done. That nobody dated. You could read the whole Bible. You're not going to find people that went on dates. So how can you're taking a whole subject with our whole culture and trying to, somebody's trying to use the Bible to beat somebody with it for that subject, because that's what Christians do. We use the Bible as a weapon. Right. We use it for tithing. We use it for marriage. We use it for relationships. We use it in every way.